Spring is about the beginning of the unfurling. And it could be at first a secret unfurling, meaning nobody can see on the surface yet that there's an unfurling happening. And it is also of its nature a secret unfurling. So we're going to be looking at the various wood herbs that allow our secret to unfurl. Nature does this all over the place in the springtime. Things that were completely hidden, you didn't even know that was there, are now unfurling. You didn't even know that was a maple tree. Now it's unfurling, and you know, secrets are unfurling everywhere. I do want to mention, however, that there are secrets all over the place and at all times of year, and at some times there may be secrets unfurling on the inside, freedoms and healings, liberations that are occurring at any time of year. So even though these are wood herbs and springtime herbs, keep in mind that there are hidden springs inside of us. So the most important, most wood element herb that has something to do with liver, chi, is chai-hoo! Bupleurum. Chai-hoo! The cry of freedom and overthrow of oppression. Chai-hoo moves liver chi upward and outward. It also raises the clear yang and it releases the exterior. Which of those it's mostly doing depends on what dosage. At the moment, we're looking at it in terms of its chi moving, but it does it as part of a predictable trajectory of unhook, unwrap, lift, and clear to open. It is a Shaoyang herb, so there's that quality of unhooking, like the little hook that holds the Jack-in-the-Box lid on that you have to like press in order to get it to, yeah, so that's chai-hoo. So there's a little bit of a crouch in there, and then it gives one the sense of being unopposed. That's how Ted Kaptchuk put it back in 1989. And that explains so well why it is that for the most part, when given to what is called men mellow out. You give them the sense of being unopposed, the chip comes off the shoulder and we can just flow. Whereas very frequently when given to what's called women, you start hearing about all kinds of things that you have not been hearing about. Because now that the sense of being opposed is gone, now that there's a sense of uninhibited freedom from inhibition, especially from down pressor inhibition, you're going to hear a lot about a lot of things. And this is wonderful. It is initially a little bit intense if chai-hoo, A, was not the herb that you really ought to have given, or B, was not an herb that you ought to have given alone. When we release and allow to be uninhibited and unimposed, we want to make sure that what's underneath is not just raw, bloody, belligerent rage. Because we don't really want to just unleash that. That is not good for us or for our neighbors. So this is important because sometimes there will clearly be liver chi constraint on the pulse. And the reason why there's liver chi constraint on the pulse is the person knows that they've got Godzilla on the inside, and they are willfully creating sufficient uptightness to not go on a killing spree. So are you just going to give them chai-hoo and say, relax, relax, be unopposed, be free? In this case, either they will constrain themselves even more, or they won't. And it's just not good. So it's always important before using chai hu or any other herb that moves liver qi constraint, but chai hu especially because the level of upward and outward freedom that it gives, to check, is there heat that really should be cleared first? Is there damp heat, in which case it's going to be stubborn, dug in belligerence? Is there wind, in which case, boom, something could happen very quickly. There could be a very fast rage. Wind, it's kind of like, it's like a hurricane. You don't really want to unleash that if that's how somebody's temper is. And if it's kind of pressure cooker, bottled up as best they can, please don't go doing that. So chai hu is an incredible liberator, though it's most wisely given in combination with clearing excesses on the inside that we've been trying our best not to give freedom. And sometimes if you clear what's on the inside and you relieve somebody of all that rage and pressure and pent up, you won't need to give them the chai hu anymore. They will just free themselves. They'd say, you know what? Here's what's on my mind, and here's what we need to do about it. In which case they're being chai hu, and they don't need the chai hu.